is Talia Pollock. Talia was in my very first class when I was teaching third grade. And that was 1997 at Solomon Schechter Day School in West Hartford. That was a long time ago. That was like what Matt was saying, pre-cell phones. Back then we had cell phones, but they were like this big. You couldn't put them in your bag. There was no internet to connect to, really. I mean, I guess it existed, sort of. Anyway, she was in my class then. She was 8. Now she's an adult. Talia is a healthy lifestyle guru with a popular website and a podcast with a great name. It's called Party in My Plants. She's been featured in lots of publications and has been on Dr. Oz. Yeah. Very excitingly, she has a book coming out in 2020. It's called Party in Your Plants. It is recipes and humorous writing. Also, she's getting married this October, so that's also exciting for Talia. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention that Talia is part of a father-daughter storytelling team. Her dad, Lee, is telling a story in the second half of tonight's show. Wow. I know! So before the show, I always ask our storytellers a question that relates to the theme that I can tell you their answers to when I introduce them. So tonight's question was this. You are going to be the host of a new late night talk show. Since you are super famous and influential, everyone would like to be your first guest. Who will be lucky enough to get the call to be invited as your first guest? Do you see the connection? Close calls. Who are you going to call? I was like, what am I going to ask this time? There it is. Who are you going to call to be your first guest? Talia said she would call Jerry Seinfeld. This is what she said about Jerry. Even though they tell you not to meet your idols, I'd have to take the chance to meet the guy whose stand-up inspires me like no other, and whom I've seen perform 6 times, used to have a comedy shrine to above my desk, and whose birthday is one day after mine. It's like fate. I just love how Jerry does the epitome of what I believe the point of comedy is, pointing out our shared universal truths and troubles and helping us laugh at them, which I think is also really true about storytelling. I wholeheartedly support that Jerry Seinfeld pick. Please welcome Talia Pollock.
So, sadly this summer, my fiance's mom passed away from cancer. It was awful. She lived in the hospital for the last 4 weeks of her life, and it was draining and traumatic and just as devastating as you can imagine. And when she passed, Jesse, my fiance, and I were having a really hard time putting our life back together. We were just spending most of our summer just sitting on the couch in the air conditioning, really procrastinating on putting, one foot in front of the other to get back to this new norm. And so one Sunday night, we're sitting on the couch in the AC, as always, and we're just hanging out, and my adorable golden doodle, 27-pound golden doodle Tommy, indicates that he has to go to the bathroom. So one of us has to get off the couch and walk him. So I'm the unlucky one. So I get off the couch, I dismount, and as I get off, I spill our bowl of organic gluten-free crackers, and I take Tommy outside to our filthy New York City streets to do his business. I bring him back in, and Jesse's standing there. Like, apparently when I left, I also knocked over my homemade healthy hummus, and so he's cleaning up this catastrophe of a mess that I left, and I'm helping him, and I feel guilty, and we're cleaning it up, and a few minutes later, we look in the corner of our room, and Tommy's just standing there. Just bobbling. He's just standing in the corner, bobbling. And I asked Jesse, what's wrong with our dog? And Jesse says, I don't know what's wrong with our dog. What's wrong with our dog? And I say, I don't know, Tommy, what's wrong with you? But he's a dog, and he's only 2, so he can't talk. Not because he's 2, just because he's a dog, and dogs don't talk. And I should mention, this is the first dog I've ever had, and you really don't know how to take care of a dog till you have a dog. And even when you have a dog, you really don't know how to take care of a dog. So we don't know what to do. So we just are like offering him purified water. He doesn't want it. We're offering him his farm to dog bowl food. He doesn't want it. He doesn't want organic peanut butter in a car. So we decide, what else can we do but walk him to the walk-in clinic. And so we live in Brooklyn, so we could literally walk to the walk-in clinic. We get there, and unfortunately it's closed. So we're freaking out. His wobbling is getting so much worse. His eyes are getting all glossy. We're really panicking. So we don't know what else to do but to drive to the ER. The doggy ER, because we have those in Brooklyn. And so we're walking to our car, and I have Tommy on the leash, and he's weaving and leaning and just can't stay up straight and swerving. It's like I had a drunk driver on the end of my leash. Meanwhile, Jesse's to the side of me, manically Googling anything that could possibly help us. So he's Googling dog bobbling, dog seizure, dog epilepsy, trying to figure out what's wrong. So we get to our car, and I scoop Tommy up, put him in my lap, and I can tell he has a fever because his stomach is so hot and his nose is burning up. And we're driving to the hospital, and we're having all these flashbacks now and this PTSD of when we were just in the hospital for these 4 weeks for Jesse's mom. And we're getting really scared and really emotional, and so I lead us through some deep, belly breaths to try to calm us down. So we get to the hospital, and Jesse goes to park the car. I grab Tommy, I run in, and I say, "Help us!" And they say, "Calm down!" And I say, "Okay." So I tell them what's going on, and they grab Tommy and whisk him away. And I'm just sitting there in the waiting room, and now I'm, back with these nurses' outfits and these elevators and this hospital waiting room, and I'm just like losing it. It's just too much, too soon, So all of a sudden, this couple comes in, and they're holding a dog in a blanket, and they go to the receptionist, and they say, "We have an appointment to put down our dog." Oh my God, I just lose it. I'm like bawling, sobbing. I have like this wad of tissues. I just can't handle it. Finally, Jesse comes in, and he's like, "Why are you crying?" And I'm like, "They're putting down their dog." And he starts crying. So now we're this mess of a couple just sitting on the bench in the doggy ER while the receptionist was just chatting about their weekend plans and what kind of new skirt she got to wear out tonight. And we're crying. And so finally the receptionists call us up, and they say to us, "We just need you to sign and do not resuscitate." Oh my God. And I'm like, are you kidding? This is the worst deja vu we could possibly be having. We just had to sign one for Jesse's mom weeks prior. Oh, so somehow my husband-to-be mustered up the strength to sign that form that says, "No, we will not save our dog if he has to go join Jesse's mom in heaven." And we're just losing our minds. It's so much. So we go and sit down, and about an hour later, the vet comes out. And we grab each other's hands and walk up to her and say, What's going on? How's Tommy? Is he okay?" And she says, "Guys, is there any weed in your home?" And we look at each other and say, "Yeah, Jesse's a big medical marijuana enthusiast. There's always weed in our home. Tommy's been exposed to it since the day he came home 2 years ago, but he's never shown any interest." No, he's not showing interest now. Why now? I mean, I know it's been a stressful few weeks, but we did not get into our weed stash. And she's like, "It's definitely a toxic reaction. We really think it's weed." And so we pick up our phones and we start Googling weed dogs. And what comes up are these dogs that are like peeing on themselves and like drooling, pupils are dilated. And I'm like, "No, doc, no. Tommy is not a weed dog. No. And she's like, "Well, there's something toxic. Something happened. We have to keep him overnight till his fever goes down." So we're like, "Can we go say goodbye to him?" And she says, "Yeah." So she leads us upstairs to where Tommy's being kept in a crate with all these other dogs, and he's just standing there, and he's still bobbling, and his eyes are all glazed over, and at this point they'd shaved part of his leg or arm. See, I'm so bad at dogs. Arm, I guess, leg. And because they had to put the IV in it so he could recover from the fever, and we see him, and it looks so sad. And then we hug him and kiss him goodbye, and as we're walking away, he does this drunken slur, like, "Rah!" kind of bark thing. Oh my God, it was just so sad. So somehow, we drive home, and we get home, and we check our weed stash, and everything's copacetic. He did not get into the weed. I knew he wasn't a weed dog. Thank you very much. And our stomachs are so upset because of all the emotions, so I just make us some green smoothies, and we go to bed. The next morning, we wake up and immediately call the vet and ask if Tommy's fever's gone down. Can we go pick him up? And she says yes, so we're so excited, and we get in the car and go to the vet, and Jesse double parks the car, and I run in, and Tommy and I reunite, and he looks so sad and tired, and he has this really cute camo bandage on his leg, and he just kind of looks like a little badass. And so I scoop him up, and we go home, and we all just rub each other's bellies and cuddle and try to put this traumatic experience past us. A few weeks later, I'm in the elevator of our apartment building, walking Tommy, and a woman sees that his leg had been shaved, or his arm had been shaved. And she asks what happened, and I tell her the whole story. And she says, I bet it was cocaine. And I'm like, what? She's like, I'm always picking up bags of coke from the street so my dogs don't get into them. And I'm like, oh my God, it was coke! Tommy's a coke dog! So I run upstairs, and I pick up my phone, and I Google dog cocaine, coke dog. And Tommy had all the symptoms of a coke dog, which means that my dog's done more drugs than I've ever done. Oh my God. So a few weeks later, I have this really awesome essential oil expert come on my Healthy Living podcast. And she talks all about the wonders that are these plant oils. And obviously, after she raves about them, I go out and buy all the essential oils and all the diffusers for the essential oils, and I sprinkle them through my house like mouse traps, but instead of catching mice, they're supposed to just diffuse wonderful healing scents into the air. So one night, I whipped up this peaceful, calm, sleepy time blend, and it's diffusing in my bedroom. And I'm lying in bed, writing my gratitude journal, meditating, drinking my calm tea, listening to my yoga music, my night routine. And I look at the foot of the bed, and Tommy's there. And I leap out of bed, and I ask Tommy, what's wrong? And still he can't talk. So I break my no electronics before bed rule and pick up my phone and Google dog essential oils. And sure enough, some essential oils can be toxic to dogs. So I might be an expert at taking care of my own health, but clearly not so much when it comes to my dog. Thank you.